I don't really know whether to say that zakat is the same as your tithe in Islam, because for us as Muslim, zakat is obligatory. It's an act. It's one of the five pillars of Islam. It's an obligatory this thing, and it is incumbent upon every adult sane Muslim who earns a living above a certain amount of money. Zakat is charged on your net income at the end of the lunar year. That is to say, it is paid yearly, once in a year, and it's 2.5% of your net income. So, if for instance you have at the end of the business year, you have like say 100,000 naira, which is after you have deducted all your other overheads and everything. So, okay, this is your income, and you also have set aside what your family needs, and now what you have is just the saving. You are expected to pay only 2.5% of it. It's not paid monthly as you have in some faith. No, it's not. It's once in a year, and you cannot really say it is the same as this thing, even though the philosophy behind them are the same. But for us Muslims, we believe that right from the time of Judaism to Christianity, then to Islam, it was an evolutionary period. So, to some extent, yes. I wouldn't know uh, whether tithe is still necessary now, because if you look at the Bible, the book of Deuteronomy says that it is for the Levites, and you also understand that the Levites were a class of, or a family that was prohibited from doing any work. So they were not expected to do any work apart from this job of collecting their tithe, then helping to distribute it. Now, for us in Islam, zakat is, like I told you, is 2.5% of your net income. Then at the end, when you are paying it, since Nigeria is not a theocratic state like Saudi Arabia, you have to take it to your nearest mosque, and it is the obligation of the imam, or if you have a dawah group, to collect it from you and then ensure that it is distributed to the needy in the society. It is not for the imam. I'm not saying that the imam cannot eat a little, but it's not for him. It is to be distributed to the needy in the society, and those who are in need must also be classified. They must be seen to be really people who are in need. So it's not a question of anybody saying, okay, you come, you take. No. And I remember in my mosque, when zakat are dropped, sometimes a spade like that, could be food or any this thing like that. What happened is that people will come back to the mosque and say, we need. They announce, if you need, you let us know. But pride and other things will not allow certain people to say they are in need. But those who are really in need, whether they are Muslims or they are Christians or any other, as long as you are in need, zakat is meant for you. It is not for the imam. That's why it's almost impossible for you to see an imam driving a big car, or buying a private jet and other things like that, like you have in some other faiths. Islam is an obligatory upon us. This is 2.5% of your net income. It is not your gross income. So if somebody earns say 5,000, 100,000 naira, it is not 10% of it every month. No, because he has, out of that 10 out of that 100,000 naira, he has obligation to the family, to the relations. He has to give out sadaqah. Sadaqah is not it's not zakat. That is an offering. What you call offering, has to give it out to people. There are other people near and family member who need his attention. He has to help. At the end of the year, from his saving, from that little amount of money that is left, after he has made arrangement for what his family need, and say, okay, I am going to save this amount of money, At the end of the lunar year, then of course you calculate 2.5% and give it out as zakat. That's how it's done in Islam. Thank you.